let us start another practical for veterinary pharmacology. And the name of the practical is incompatibility, drug incompatibility, which means we are going to discuss about the incompatibility of the drug. Here about the meaning of incompatibility, somehow you manage to define the drug incompatibility. Simply, if you want to define incompatibility, it means if the two or more than two chemicals, substance, drug are not compatible with each other, then we are going to call it drug incompatibility. So let us start the detail about the drug incompatibility. So as we already mentioned, if we are going to put, add, mix two or more than two drugs together, and as a resultant, the combined product that form that are inelegant or inert or toxic or having without any desired effect is called incompatibility or in more drug. So this is about the improper combination of the drug. Now we have to go through so when this incompatibility occur when we are going through the pharmacy preparation, that means ki while going through compounding, then we are formulating the mixture of chemicals together to form a drug, then manufacturing of the drug which contain more than two or more than two drug or chemical together, while packaging, while dispensing, while storage. During these time, the incompatibility of the drug occur. So it is very, very important for a practitioner, for a doctor, being a veterinary doctor or medical doctor, you have to be aware about the what will happen if two or more than two drug has to be given to the patient. And therefore, the doctor have to knowledge about the preparation. If aware about the preparation, then the chances of drug incompatibility get decreased, reduced. So that is why this is very, very important. Drug incompatibility has been classified or typed are physical incompatibility, chemical incompatibility, and the last one is the therapeutic incompatibility. Therapeutic incompatibility is also called pharmacological incompatibility. And these all classification of drug incompatibility is based upon the changes that produce when two or more than two drug or chemical or substance mixed together, and therefore as a resultant they form change in physical property of that combination, or it get changed chemically, or there may be produce the effect or pharmacological effect, that is mainly the incompatible one is classified into three types. So now we have to discuss one by one. Now the first one is the physical incompatibility. So name itself is telling when two or more chemical or substance or drug mixed together, and because of the difference in the physical property of drug, as a resultant the combination of the compound is unappealing, elegant in appearance, is called physical incompatibility. And this is mainly because of the difference in physical property of two or more chemical or substance or drug. Physical incompatibility may further be classified or typed or called immiscible type of physical incompatibility, insoluble type of physical incompatibility, undesirable color change physical incompatibility, precipitation physical incompatibility, and liquefaction physical incompatibility. So these happen when we are going to mix two or more drug or chemical or substance together. As a resultant, the mixture may be the immiscible, may be the insoluble, may be the change in the color, and may get precipitate, the mixture get precipitate, or may mixture get liquefy, and therefore these all are coming under the physical incompatibility. Now we have to go through the first one, immiscibility. So name is clear cut indicating this physical incompatibility occur when two compound, substance or drug are immiscible, and the best one example when we are going to mix water and oil together. So as we aware about that, oil and water are immiscible, and this is called immiscible physical incompatibility, and this is very well known example. And if even though you want to mix these two things together, then as a remedial you have to put the emulsifying agent. So what is this agent? This is going to mix the two immiscible substance like oil and with the water. Next one is incompatibility is insoluble physical incompatibility. So name itself is telling if the two compound are not soluble together, it's called insoluble type of physical incompatibility. And the best example is a is a pharmacy preparation lotion when we are going to mix calamine with the zinc oxide. These two are insoluble. They two are insoluble, and for remedial purpose to make it soluble, we are going to put the thickening agent, that is gum acacia or tragacanth, to obtain the refined product for insoluble physical incompatibility. For this insoluble physical incompatibility, the example is calamine mixed with the zinc oxide. Then this will happen. Third is the change in color. Means when we are going to keep two chemical or substance or drug together, after mixing them, as a resultant, the mixture become some different type of color or form a color, is called change in color of the mixture. And the example is when we are mixing ferric chloride with sodium salate, the color of the mixture of these two compounds become violet. So there is change in color. The next type of physical incompatibility is precipitation. Name is also telling when we are mixing two chemical or substance or drug together, mixture become precipitated is called precipitation type of physical incompatibility. And this is because of the different in physical property of these two compounds. Example, when we are going to mix gum with the strong alcoholic solution, means when we are mixing aqueous mucilage of gum with a strong alcohol, then mixture get precipitated. Our best example is when we are going to mix concentrated tincture with water, again this mixture form the precipitation. So this is called precipitation type of drug incompatibility. Now we have to go through the last physical incompatibility is liquefaction type of physical incompatibility. Liquefaction is also clear cut indicating when we are mixing two substance, two chemical together, and as a resultant mixture get liquid, converted into liquid. And this only occur when the compound or substance possessing low melting point. So when we are mixing low melting point of the substance with the another low melting point, therefore as a resultant they are further from lower melting point of the mixture, and therefore the mixture become liquid at room temperature. This is called liquefaction. And this is mainly because of the compound or substance possessing low melting point. And this is called eutectic effect. So what is eutectic effect? Eutectic effect is the effect when two substance or chemical possessing low melting point, when they are going to mix together, as a resultant the mixed compound form liquid because the mixture melting point is lower than the when we use separately. So the best example is thymol, menthol, camphor. So when we are going to mix these things, there may be chances to become liquefied mixture. So for this correction, we are going to put adsorbent that absorb the moisture like talc and starch and make the preparation not to convert it into liquefaction. So this is all about the physical incompatibility of drug and all the terminology that we used or classification of physical incompatibility terms that we used, that all are quite simpler to define. Immiscible like, insoluble like, this is color change like precipitation like, liquefaction, physical incompatibility, and this is all about the physical incompatibility. Now we have to go through the another one incompatibility, that is the chemical incompatibility. So name it is telling when we are going to mix two drug, two chemical, two substance together, as a resultant, mixture become chemically changed, and that is why this is called chemical incompatibility. And in this chemical incompatibility, chemical reaction occur upon mixing two or more than two chemical or drug or substance together, and therefore it form a new compound. This is very very important because there is a chemical reaction occur between the two or more drug or chemical or substance, and that new compound may be toxic, may be inactive, may be unsuitable, and therefore this is very very important while giving the drug to patient. And there may be chances it go through the chemical reaction to such type that produce the explosion. So be careful about that. So chemical incompatibility is a type of incompatibility in which we are going to mix two or more than two drug or substance or chemical together, and in these chemical or drug or substance chemical reaction occur, and finally the mixture that form, that may be inert, that may be toxic, that may be inactive, and then that may produce explosion, and this is called chemical incompatibility. This may be because of the change in the pH of the mixture, and this may be other chemical process. Now we have to go through the example, and examples are very simpler and and very easy to recall. So when we are putting acid with the alkali, then this is going to form the salt. Acid and base combine together to form the salt. The third chemical is going to form. Then when we are going to put glycerides with acid, it will destroy the glyceride. So this chemical reaction, when we want it intensely, or when we go through the desirable, we want as per the chemical reaction, then this is called desirable chemical incompatibility. And if that will not occur intensely, that will occur unintentionally, this is called undesirable chemical incompatibility or unintentional chemical incompatibility. So chemical incompatibility are two types, that is the intentional or desirable, or unintentional or undesirable chemical incompatibility. So we have to go through the desirable. In this, the best example is the white lotion example. So in white lotion, the chemical reaction occur, and that chemical reaction form a resultant compound. That resultant compound is good or beneficial or intentional. Then this is called desirable chemical incompatibility. Like when we are preparing white lotion, in which we are taking one component lead acetate and another one is the zinc sulfate. The zinc sulfate and lead acetate form a resultant chemical reaction. After chemical reaction, the resultant compound become lead sulfate and zinc acetate. So the function of this lead sulfate, actually lead sulfate is in precipitate form. So this lead sulfate is going to hold the component zinc oxide, zinc acetate when we are going to apply it. Zinc acetate is actually in liquid form. So this lead sulfate is going to hold the zinc acetate where we are applying this lotion over the body surface, and it is going to hold the zinc acetate. That is the main component, main ingredient of the lotion. So this lead sulfate is going to increase the holding time of zinc acetate at the surface of its application, as well as it is going to delaying in the drying of the zinc zinc acetate and lead sulfate. Now we have to go through the unintentional one. When we are prescribing two drugs together and that may react together and form a different compound, then without knowingly, that is unknowingly, then this is called unintentional or undesirable chemical incompatibility, and therefore the chemical reaction between these two or more than two chemical or substance or drug occur. And these unintentional incompatibility may be the formation of precipitation, may be the formation of explosion, may be the formation of inactivation, may be the liberation of gas, may be the undesirable in looking or appearance. These all are unintentional incompatibility. So now we have to go through the one by one. So first we have to go through the precipitation chemical incompatibility. Then why this will happen? Because of the change in the pH and the chemical reaction and complex that form, that we have to see the example how the precipitation occur. So when we are going to give soda bicarbonate with the calcium containing solution, then the chemical reaction occur between the soda bicarb and calcium solution. As a resultant, compound that form is calcium carbonate and that get precipitated. So this is the chemical reaction occur and precipitation occur, and this is the one example. Another is under the inactivation. So inactivation is the simply neutralization occur when we are going to mix two or more than two drug or chemical or substance together. They are going to form a resultant compound, and that resultant compound neutralize, and therefore it is called neutralization between the two ingredients. And the best example, when we are going to mix acid with the basic, so acid base reaction get formed. The third thing, that is the salt. Like whereas the anionic drug is going to mix with the cationic drug, then again there is neutralization or nullifying of the drug efficacy. Like anionic drug soap or emulsifying wax with the cationic drug like chlorhexidine and neomycin. Therefore, the chemical reaction occur, and therefore the neutralization and the nullifying of the action of the drug occur. So this become very, very important. Now we have to go through the next chemical incompatibility is the gas liberation. So when we are mixing two or more than two chemicals or drugs or substance together. After the mixing, the chemical reaction occur, and that chemical reaction, the resultant compound is going to give something different, or some different product than that. Particularly this is concerned to the gas, therefore this is going to release the gas. So this is called gas liberation, is the type of the chemical incompatibility. Best example is when we are going to mix iron salt with the iodide, then the iron salt and iodide, they react together, and therefore iodine gas is released, and this is the gas liberation when there is chemical incompatibility for gas liberation occur. Now next is explosion. This is also under the chemical incompatibility. So when we are going to mix two or more than two drug or chemical or substance together, then there, as a resultant of the chemical reaction, they form the explosion, they cause explosion. So therefore, it is called the chemical incompatibility and produce the explosion. When we are, example are, when we are putting oxidizing agent with the reducing agent, then the Charles is the explosion. And the example oxidizing agent is chlorate, permanganate, dichromate, nitrate, hydrogen peroxide mixing with the alcohol, sugar or sulfur. They may result into the explosion. Then the last one under the chemical incompatibility of the unintentional one is the undesirable appearance, not looking good. The mixture that form after the chemical reaction, that is not appear good, so undesirable or not looking good appearance, or disagreeable appearance, or repulsive appearance of the mixture when we are going to mix two or more than two chemical or drug or substance together. This is called this repulsive or disagreeable appearance or undesirable appearance of the chemical incompatibility. And the example is when we are going to mix mercuric or mercurous salt, mercuric or mercurous salt with the gum, then as a resultant, a cement type of substance get formed, and therefore this is not looking good. So that is why this is called repulsive or disagreeable or undesirable appearance, and this is also because of the chemical reaction. So this is called chemical incompatibility. So this is, we already finished type 1 physical incompatibility, type 2 that is chemical incompatibility, and the last one that is the most important among these three are the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. So why we are going to call it the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility? Because this type of incompatibility occur in the mechanism of action or pharmacodynamic type, or either pharmacokinetic type. So pharmacokinetic, that we are knowing, if we are going to give two drug or chemical or substance together, and if there is change in mixture in which the mixture form the change in the pharmacokinetic property, then this is called pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. In this, there is change of absorption or distribution or metabolism or excretion. In this, when we are going to give two chemical together, two drug together, two substance together, then change in these property occur, then we are going to call it the pharmacokinetic type of incompatibility, that is coming under the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. Second one is the pharmacodynamic or change in the mechanism of action. Change in mechanism of action means if we are using one drug is agonist another drug is antagonist, and if both are acting on the same receptor, then one drug is going to nullifying the activity of another drug. So therefore this is called the pharmacodynamic type of incompatibility. So both are coming under the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. So the definition that we already discussed, but again we are going to define when we are going to mix two drug or more than two drug or chemical or substance together, and as if these two drug are having different pharmacological action, then this is going to produce the pharmacological incompatibility. Different from opposite or different or opposite pharmacological action, then therefore this is going to produce pharmacological incompatibility. Uh, uh, this may be antagonize the action of another one, maybe weaken the action of another one, and therefore this may change the pharmacological action of drug or pharmacodynamic of the drug, or may interfere in the pharmacokinetic property of a drug. That is also called the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. Means when we are mixing these two drugs together, one drug is going to hindering the action of another drug, or one drug is hindering the pharmacokinetic property of another drug, is called pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. Like absorption, that as we know the pharmacokinetic means ki it is the absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of the drug. So this is going to change. This is easy to understand. So now we have to discuss the pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. There are two types that we already mentioned: pharmacodynamic incompatibility or pharmacokinetic incompatibility. So in case of pharmacodynamic, again I am repeating it. In case of pharmacodynamic incompatibility, when we are using two or more than two drug or chemical or substance together, then this is going to hinder or alter or change the action of another drug, is called pharmacodynamic incompatibility. And when this is going to one drug is going to change the pharmacokinetic of the another drug, means absorption of the another drug, distribution, metabolism and excretion of another drug, then this is called pharmacokinetic incompatibility. So we are going to discuss one by one. So uh, at the site of, in case of pharmacodynamic incompatibility, at the site of the action of the drug, one drug is going to alter the action of another drug, and this or may be the action of one drug is opposite to the another drug. This is called pharmacological or therapeutic incompatibility. And now we are going to discuss about the example, which is very important that you have to recall. So when two drugs are acting on the same receptor with the opposite response, or acting on the same system with the opposite response, then this is going to produce the pharmacological incompatibility. Take the example, morphine is acting on the opioid receptor as a agonist to produce the action. But simultaneously, when we are going to put another drug with the morphine, that is naloxone, this is a somewhat antagonist of the opioid receptor. When we are using it in combination with the other agonist, then the naloxone acts as a antagonist. So therefore naloxone is going to antagonize the action of morphine or nullifying the action of morphine. So this is the pharmacological, or you can say the pharmacodynamic incompatibility. Another example is the isoprenaline, is an antagonist of beta 1 receptor, beta 1 adrenergic receptor. Another one is the propranolol. Propranolol are blocker, or you can say the antagonist of beta adrenergic receptor. So when we are using these two drugs, isoprenaline and the propranolol, so both one is agonist, another is antagonist. So both are and the propranolol is blocking the action of isoprenaline and therefore nullifying the action of isoprenaline. Another example is the acetylcholine and the isoprenaline. So one is acting on the acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter acting on the muscarinic receptor, whereas the isoprenaline that we already discussed is acting on the beta 1 adrenergic receptor, and their action is just antagonistic on the heart rate, and therefore they are nullifying the action of the another drug. Now we have to go through the other example that are also very very important is emprolium. So what is this emprolium? Is the is the coccidioidstate drug. That means this is the drug that is either going to kill or the inhibit the growth of coccidia that found in the poultry, and the mechanism of action of this emprolium over the coccidia, this is going to inhibit the vitamin B1 synthesis of the coccidia. Okay, so the mechanism of action of this emprolium is to inhibit the vitamin B1 synthesis by the coccidia, and therefore when we are going to use emprolium with the vitamin B, so vitamin B is going to nullify the action of emprolium because emprolium is inhibiting the vitamin B1 synthesis of the coccidia. However, you are giving the vitamin B in addition. So therefore, this is going to the coccidia is going to found vitamin B already because you are supplying, you are giving this. So therefore, it is going to nullify the action of emprolium. Likewise, sulfonamide and procaine that we are not going to discuss in much detail. Now we have to go through the last one type of the incompatibility under the pharmacological incompatibility, that is the pharmacokinetic incompatibility. So in this type of the incompatibility, as we know, pharmacokinetic is the absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of drug. So when we are using two drug or more than two drug or chemical or substance together, then this is going to change the pharmacokinetic property of the another drug. Either absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of drug is called pharmacokinetic incompatibility. We have to go through the first type, absorption of the drug. So when we are going to give the drug like tetracycline, so tetracycline, when we are going to take this drug along with the antacid or dimetal or trimetal compound, trivalent compound, then or the milk or with the calcium or with the antacid, then these all metal or you can say the compound is going to form the chelate product or form the complex with the tetracycline. So tetracycline get chelated out and pass out through the stool, and therefore the absorption of the drug get reduced, or you can absorption of the drug get reduced because this tetracycline is going to combine with these thing, and therefore it form the insoluble complex, and therefore drug is not going to be absorbed, and therefore it hinder the absorption of drug, and therefore the sufficient concentration of drug will not found in the systemic circulation to produce the action. Next is the distribution. Next pharmacokinetic property is the distribution. When we are using two drug together, or the compound or the substance or more than two drug together, then this is going to check or hinder or inhibit or affect the distribution of the another drug within the body of the patient, then this is called the pharmacokinetic incompatibility. So we are going to go through the example. As we know, warfarin is the drug which is high protein binding capability. However, the another analgesic, not another analgesic, is an analgesic salicylate. Warfarin is the anticoagulant. So when we warfarin, when we are using alone, their protein binding capability with the is very high. So they get bind with the serum or blood. So only free drug is going to produce its action. So warfarin get bound with the serum. When we are going to put the another drug together with the warfarin, that is the analgesic salicylate. So salicylate is also very much protein bound drug. So salicylate is going to replace the warfarin from the blood protein bound, and therefore warfarin get freed in the blood, and therefore this is going to produce the action. So therefore this drug displace the salicylate is going to displace the warfarin from its binding site, and therefore it is going to produce the toxicity of the warfarin. Next is the metabolism. So here, before going to discuss about the metabolism, I'm going to tell one more thing, that we know the drug or the chemical or substance or xenobiotic is going to be metabolized by the enzyme. We are going to call it the cytochrome P450. And we also knowing that the some drug are inducer of the cytochrome and some drug are inhibitor of cytochrome. So take the drug barbiturate and take another drug corticosteroid or tricyclic antidepressant. Barbiturate is a inducer of the cytochrome P450. So it get induced and therefore cytochrome synthesis is get increased. More amount of cytochrome P450 gets synthesized. The drug that you have given with the barbiturate is corticosteroid. The corticosteroid is get destroyed by the cytochrome. So initially when we have given the drug corticosteroid alone, that no doubt metabolized by the cytochrome, but initially the amount of the cytochrome was low. But when we introduce the another drug barbiturate, they induce cytochrome P450, and therefore the concentration of cytochrome P450 get enhanced, and therefore rate of metabolism of the corticosteroid get enhanced because of the more amount of cytochrome synthesis by barbiturate induction. So therefore the drug get metabolized faster and their activity is less because corticosteroid get metabolized and is excreted fastly. Now we have to go through the last one, pharmacokinetic incompatibility, is excretion. So when we are going to use two or more than two drug or chemical or substance together, if by any means one drug is going to affect the excretion of the another drug, of course this is going to change the effect of the drug. How, that we have to see. See the drug like penicillin and cephalosporin is going to be excreted out through the urine, and major chunk of the drug penicillin and cephalosporin is coming in the urine by tubular secretion, and therefore it is excreted out through the urine. Another drug probenecid is the inhibitor of tubular secretion. So when we are going to use the penicillin or cephalosporin along with the probenecid is going to check the tubular secretion of these two drugs like penicillin or cephalosporin. Therefore, penicillin or cephalosporin rate of excretion is slowed and it will remain within the systemic circulation for longer time interval. Therefore, it will prolong the action of these two antimicrobial agents. So this is all about the practical number